Hello, good evening everyone, and welcome to this Tutor to You BTEC National Health and Social Care revision live stream. This evening we are going to be revising Unit 3, Anatomy and Physiology, and today we're going to focus on cells, tissues and energy in the body. So we've got a lot to get through, so we will get right onto it. I'll just load up our PowerPoint now. Okay, so let's get straight into the first activity. So this is a multiple choice question. As you can see, there's a picture of a cell and some of the cell organelles on the screen. So I'm going to read out a statement and you're going to tell me what it describes. So the control centre of the cell, containing genetic material and regulating cell activities, describes what? Is it A, ribosomes, B, nucleus, C, endoplasmic reticulum, or D, centrioles? So for those of you watching at home, if you want to type your answer into the chat, we will see how you are doing. Just wait for the answers to come through. So someone has said A, nucleus, or A, oh no, their name is A and they're saying nucleus. Nucleus is B. That was very confusing for me. Anyone else want to have a guess? Caitlin is saying A. Nilma is saying nucleus. So Caitlin is saying, oh no, Caitlin's changed her mind to B. It's very confusing, isn't it? All these letters. Anyone else? Yep, everyone's saying B, nucleus. That is correct. Excellent. Good. We're in the end off to a good start. Okay, so same deal with the next question. Produce energy in the form of ATP through cellular respiration. Describes the function of what organelle? Is it A, cell membrane, B, mitochondria, C, Golgi apparatus, or D, ribosomes? So we're looking at functions of cell organelles. What is being described there? So we have a guess of B, mitochondria. Nima is saying mitochondria. Araj is saying mitochondria. Yep, you are correct. Well done. Okay, question 3. Responsible for protein synthesis and can be found on the rough endoplasmic reticulum, describes what organelle? Is it A, ribosomes, B, centrioles, C, mitochondria, or D, lysosomes? Let's see what guesses we're getting. So Annalise is saying A for ribosomes. We've got an answer of B, centrioles. Someone else is saying A, ribosomes. Yep, you are correct. So one of the reasons why it's called the rough endoplasmic reticulum is because those ribosomes are studied on it, making the surface rough. Next question. Containing enzymes that break down waste materials and cellular debris, describes what organelle? A, Golgi apparatus, B, nucleus, C, centrioles, or D, lysosomes? Let's see your answers. Okay, Nima is saying D for lysosomes. Sarah is saying lysosomes. Annalise, Caitlin, yep, well done guys. It is lysosomes. A similar question here. Modifying, sorting and packaging proteins for secretion or use within the cell describes the function of what? Is it A, cell membrane, B, Golgi apparatus, C, nucleus, or D, endoplasmic reticulum? So what modifies, sorts and packages proteins? We've got someone saying B, Golgi apparatus. Loads of people coming through now. B, Golgi apparatus. Caitlin said D, endoplasmic reticulum. Nima's saying Golgi apparatus. Yep, you would be correct. It is the Golgi apparatus. They have great names, don't they, these cell organelles? Okay, question 6. Composed of microtubules arranged in a specific pattern, usually found in pairs near the nucleus, describes the structure of A, mitochondria, B, centrioles, C, lysosomes, or D, ribosomes. Caitlin was straight in that time with B for centrioles. Anyone else want to have a go? Nima is saying B. Mary saying B. Sarah Jane saying centrioles. Yep, brilliant. It is centrioles. Okay, so in the next one I'm going to give you 30 seconds because you're going to need to do a bit more typing. And I want you to give me 2 functions, so like 2 principal functions of the cell membrane. So type your 2 answers in the chat. You've got 30 seconds, so no stress. So try and make them as specific as possible and as different as possible. So 2 clearly different functions of the cell membrane, using any key terminology that you've learnt from your teacher or lecturer in anatomy and physiology. So hopefully you're all frantically typing at home your 2 functions. So Sarah says, let substances in and out of the cell. Great start, thank you. Let's see what else people are suggesting. Gives the cell its structure, regulates materials entering and leaving, controls what leaves in and out of the cell, helps maintain cell shape, physical barrier. Yep, excellent. Let's see what I have. So as a barrier, well done. So keeps the constituents of the cell in and unwanted substances out. And then you can also say it has selective permeability. Yep, so Mary is saying cell membrane, also known as the phospholipid bilayer, controls substances or molecules movement in and out of the cell. Yep. So the selective permeability means that materials can be transported into the cell, so essential nutrients for the cell functions, and it also means that waste products can be moved out of the cell. Okay, now can you do the same, but can you give me 2 functions of the endoplasmic reticulum? So I'll give you 30 seconds. Remember to try and be specific and use some nice terminology. Okay, I'm just waiting for the first answers to come through in the chat. Hoping you're all typing furiously at home on your smartphones and your devices. So we've got helps transport and modify molecules within the cells. Yeah, that's a really good start. Can we be any more specific than that, perhaps? So Sarah's saying there's the smooth ER, so smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and the rough endoplasmic reticulum. Well done. And Favor is saying it is a site for synthesizing essential cell materials. Samaya is saying transports and provides a wide area of cellular reactions. Nima is saying a network of membranes found in the cell. The rough ER is covered in ribosomes and involved in protein synthesis. Brilliant answers. Let's have a look on the screen. So it folds protein molecules in the sacs called the cisternae, and it also helps to transport the synthesized proteins in vesicles to the Golgi apparatus. So it transports them to the Golgi apparatus. So well done, guys. Really good answers. Okay, let's move on now. So we've looked at our cells, now we're going to look at tissues. So on the board you have A, B, C and D, blood, connective, epithelial and muscle. And I am going to read you 4 clues, which are describing one of those. What I want you to do as I read out each clue is to see if you can guess whether you think it's A, B, C or D. So your first clue, it's one of the tissue types found in the body. So are they all tissue types? Is there one maybe that isn't a tissue type or is a subcategory? Covering all body surfaces, lining body cavities and hollow organs. Does anyone want to have a guess about what that might be? So one of the tissue types covers all body surfaces, lines body cavities and hollow organs. A, B, C or D. Anyone want to guess? Nima is saying epithelial. Do we think she's right? Let's have a look at the next clue. So protection, secretion, absorption, excretion, filtration, diffusion and sensory reception. So this type of tissue has a lot of functions. Nima, do you think you're right with epithelial still? Does anyone else want to guess something else? So Samaya's saying C, epithelial. Favor's saying B, connective. Samaya's saying C, Sam is saying C. Okay, let's do the final clue. It can be simple, cuboidal, columnar, squamous or ciliated, or it can be compound, simple or keratinized. So yep, I think you're all going to stick with it, aren't you? It is epithelial tissue. Well done. So it's really important that you know the different tissue types and then within those tissue types, the subtypes. You need to know where you find those tissues, you need to know their function, and then you need to know about their structure as well. So there's actually loads of information that you need to absorb and process and be able to recall in your exam. So let's have a look at the next one. So same thing, but now notice your A, B, C and D are different. So we've got connective tissue, nervous, epithelial and muscle. So I'm going to give you 4 clues. One of the tissue types found in the body. composed primarily of an extracellular matrix and a limited number of cells. Would anyone like to have a go at answering this just from that one clue? Sarah's saying C, epithelial. Anyone? Mainly extracellular matrix and a limited number of cells. Samaya's saying A. Nima's saying A. Okay, let's do the next clue. Structure, support for organs, storage of fat, transport of substances, and repairing tissue damage. Do we want to stick with our previous guess or go for a new one? Mary's saying A. A is saying A. It's confusing me. Anyone else? Okay, let's have a look. I see Ikra's saying A. And examples: blood, cartilage, bone, areola, and adipose. So final guesses now, guys, or not even guesses, final answers. Yep, you are correct. It is connective tissue. So remember, you need to know the structure, the function or the role, and the different types, and also where you could find it in the body. Does anyone want to tell me where you could find connective tissue in the body? Just give me an example. For example, where would you find cartilage in the body? Anyone want to tell me? Anyone? Where would you find cartilage in the body? Yep, Samaya says nose. Elizabeth says the ear. Elizabetta, sorry. A says on bones. Can you be a bit more specific about that one, maybe? Okay, let's move on. Okay, I am going to give you a series of clues again, and I want you to guess what tissue type is going to be revealed at the end. But this time, I'm not giving you any I've forgotten what I'm trying to say. I'm not going to give you the examples at the top. You're just going to have to guess. Yes, A and Saliha, yeah, end of bones, yeah, brilliant. So what is the tissue type? I'm going to give you the 5 clues. There's no hints. That's the word I was looking for. There's no hints on the screen. You've just got to guess. So this tissue type is under voluntary control. Anyone want to guess now? Something that's under voluntary control. It has alternating dark and light bands or stripes, which are visible under a microscope. Anyone want to guess? Voluntary control, alternating dark and light bands or stripes visible under a microscope. Yep, A is saying striated muscle. Very good answer. Let's see. Responsible for movement. Do you want to stick with that answer? Nima's saying striated muscle now as well. Attached to bones. Ikra's saying muscle. Saliha's saying muscle. And then also known as skeletal muscle. So yeah, you guys were correct. It is specifically striated muscle tissue. Let's do that again with a new tissue type now. So this is under involuntary control. Would anyone like to guess what type of muscle is under involuntary control? It's spindle shaped with one central nucleus. It's found in the reproductive, respiratory and digestive systems. Okay, so we've got non-striated and smooth. Responsible for peristalsis and uterine contractions. Also known as smooth muscle. So yep, it's non-striated muscle. Can anyone tell me what peristalsis is and what function it serves in the body? And then if anyone could tell me what uterine contractions are and what their purpose is, that would be fabulous. Yep, well done, Sarah. Sorry, smooth muscle tissue, non-striated. So yeah, peristalsis, what is it? What does it mean? Where does it happen? What does it do? And then uterine contractions, just for some like little bonus points. I'm hoping someone's typing at home. It'd be good if I could hear like typing noises. Okay, Nima says, peristalsis is a process that occurs in our digestive system. Yep, absolutely. What does it do? What's it doing in our digestive system? Anyone want to help Nima out with what it's doing there? Sarah's saying, okay, right, let's go with A first. So it's, I think you mean the contraction and relaxation of muscles in the intestine. Yep. And what is it doing? It's moving something along, isn't it? So it moves the food along or moves the feces along the digestive system, along the intestinal tract. So Sarah says uterine contractions are about uterine tightens, so the uterus tightens. And what's the uterus going to do when it tightens? Yep, well done. So Nima said about peristalsis, contracts our muscles, helps push the food from one end to the other. A says, yeah, pushes out the waste food. Brilliant, perfect. So now uterine contractions, we've said the uterus tightens. What happens? What's it doing when it tightens? There's maybe two main things that it could do. So Nima says contracts and relax to help push a baby out. Absolutely. So if you're pregnant and you go into labour, the uterine contractions, like rhythmic contractions, that essentially the uterus, what happens is the fundus gets thicker, so the uterus shortens like that, it gets thicker at the top and pushes the baby down. What if you're not pregnant? What do you still get any uterine contractions if you're not pregnant? If you've got a womb, a uterus for any reason? Maybe if you are someone that has periods, you might have experienced some, yes, so someone said cramps, yeah. So menstrual cramps are like mini uterine contractions to push the menstrual blood out of your uterus. Okay, this is our last big reveal, I think. So again, it's a tissue type I'm looking for. So the first clue, involuntary control. So it's not under your conscious control, this tissue type. Words to describe it would be striated and branched. It also contains many mitochondria. That's a really big clue. Anyone want to guess? Mary's saying cardiac. Sounds like a good answer to me. So it has conductivity. So each cell within this tissue has the ability to conduct impulses to the next cell. So someone else is saying cardiac. Riella. So this tissue type has a rapid contraction and relaxation pattern to act like a pump. Ikra is saying cardiac. Brilliant. And it's found in the heart. So yes, you are correct. It is cardiac muscle tissue. Well done. Fabulous. Okay, so now we're going to move on to thinking about energy in the body. So I'm going to put some statements on the screen. I'll read them out to you, and I want you to just type in the chat true or false. You can put T or F. So the first statement says, digesting food involves breaking down complex organic molecules such as carbohydrates, proteins and fats into simpler molecules, releasing chemical energy stored in these compounds to be used to fuel the body. Is that statement true or false? Let's see how quick you guys are. Riella's straight on it and saying true. Nima says true. Mary true. Ikra true. Annalise true. Yeah, well done, guys. It is correct. So digesting food breaks down complex molecules into simpler ones that releases energy that fuels our body. Second one, exercising and performing physical activities is an example of mechanical work done by the body which transforms chemical energy into heat energy. Is this true or false? So remember, we know that energy is transformed from one type into another. So is this a true example of that? Let's see. Elisabetta is saying true. I've got a true from Salma. Not sure if it's for this question or the previous one. Any more? Yep, Sarah, Riella, Annalise, Amaya, everyone's saying true. Well done, that is correct. Okay, catabolism is the set of metabolic pathways that construct molecules from smaller units. Okay, so catabolism is the set of metabolic pathways that construct molecules from smaller units. Is this true or is this one false? I think we're getting a little bit trickier now. Okay, so we've got a real mixture. We've got some trues. Nima is saying false. Nima, if you think that it's false, could you tell me maybe why you think it's false? Riella's saying false as well, so is Samaya. So tell me why do you think it's false? Type something in the chat for me. Okay, so A is saying from larger molecules to smaller. So I think A is telling us that catabolism is about deconstructing, so going from larger molecules down to smaller molecules. So what is when you construct molecules from smaller units? What is the word that we should replace catabolism with? I don't know if you guys can hear. I can hear carols outside. I think Father Christmas is visiting my street. Okay, Riella says anabolism. Yep. Yeah, so is Anna Louise, so is Mashab. Brilliant, well done, guys. Yep. So if we replace catabolism with anabolism, that would be true, but that on its own is false. Well done. Okay, so number 4, an example of catabolism is digestion of food. Is that true or false? A says they can hear the carols outside. Maybe I should have done the live stream out on the street. Okay, Mary, Ikra, Nima, A, they're all saying true. Yep, well done. Remember we said at the beginning, digestion is breaking down larger complex molecules into smaller, simpler ones. That is catabolism. Brilliant. Okay, this one is a little bit of a tricky question. Number 5. Respiration releases energy stored in glucose, and without it cells would die. There is one type of respiration. So is this whole statement true or false? So there's actually 2 statements there, isn't there? Is this true or false? And once you tell me whether it's true or false, give me an explanation, please. So Sarah and Annalise and Ikra. Okay, everyone's saying false. So tell me, guys, what is wrong about that statement? And or how could you make it better? How could you make it all of it correct and true? Okay, Nima says there are 2 types of respiration. A is saying there's more than one type. Okay, what are the 2 types of respiration? Brilliant, Ikra's already there, Nima's there, aerobic and anaerobic. And what can you tell me about those 2? What's the difference between the 2? Just waiting for someone to type it. I'm sure you all know. Oxygen and no oxygen. Yep. So Riella, you're saying aerobic requires oxygen, anaerobic does not. Yep, thank you, Ikra. Brilliant. Well done, guys. Super duper. So the first part of that is true. So respiration releases energy stored in glucose, and without it cells would die. That's correct. But as you've all said, there are two types, anaerobic and aerobic. Okay, we have reached the end of our cells and tissues and energy in the body live stream. Well done, guys. You are all fabulous. We are back next week. Let me just check what we're doing next week. We are doing homeostasis and genetics, same time, so 6 p.m. next Wednesday. And just to let you know, today is 50 days till your exam, and next week it will be 43 days until your exam. And we're going to keep running these live streams up until 20th of December. Then we're back in January, and we will go right up to the night before your exam. So thank you so much for coming, and I will see you all again soon. Bye.